If you're starting a new business for the first time, you might be saying things like, am I good enough to charge money? Will people buy what I'm offering? Or I can sometimes feel like a fraud. Well, confidence in your business isn't something that just magically happens. It takes real experience to genuinely feel good about what you're offering and to charge for it. So today I'm going to be sharing 3 proven strategies that I teach my clients and my students to gain confidence, credibility, and experience before they launch their business. Hi, I'm Lydia Lee, the work reinvention coach and solopreneur strategist at Screw the Cubicle. I'm so glad you are here joining me today on this conversation. In the last decade, I have helped corporate professionals repurpose their gifts and experiences to build intentional and meaningful businesses that are designed specifically from their genius zone, their life experience, and the meaningful impact that they really truly want to make in their work. So if that feels good for you, you're in the right place. And be sure to hit the notification button and the subscribe button as well so that you can be the first to know for all new videos coming your way. Okay, let's jump into confidence booster number 1, which is a simple one, but not always the one that we always remember when we think about what to do in our business and how to offer our skills, which is to focus on your strengths. And what I mean by that is really take the time to understand where your best skills and your experience are best to serve the people that you're trying to help, and really just stay in that lane instead of trying to add more things that you might be doing for them. Now, as a new business owner, I know it can be very tempting to want to offer more, to be seen as perceived great value. But actually, the best value you can give people and the most interesting work, creative work, deep work that you can do to offer the best value is when you have a focus to be a specialist in a particular area for your clients rather than trying to solve all the problems that your clients may have. So don't try to solve all the problems. Pick a focus and become a specialist versus a generalist. And the bonus thing is that your clients are going to be able to find you more easily, especially when they're struggling with a particular problem that they really need support with. You're not offering everything under the moon that confuses them, but instead they really know that you are the right person for them. And also combining those strengths that you love, right? Whether they're skill sets, the problem that you want to solve, right? Combine them with the topics that you're actually passionate about, right? Infuse more of those interests into it. For example, in my business, a big strength and skill I focus on is the coaching part, right? And sort of going in more narrow about that is really helping people use their gifts and their experience to build the building blocks of your business rather than just any business. But the topic of interest that I include as part of the context and how I approach solving this problem for my clients is through the lens of a minimalist, being an essentialist. That when people come to me, they're not only going to get the meaningful business that they're looking to launch, but also they're going to do it in a way that feels easeful, simple, and minimal, right? So that they're not hustling and doing all the things to be successful. So adding more of the passions that you have, the deep interests you have into the way you perform your skills can really help you to feel confident in doing that work properly, doing that work with creativity and meaning, and you're going to be really interested in it. And when you're really interested in the thing you're doing, you're going to be confident in doing it because you're not doing it like anybody else, right? So if you want to get started in understanding what that sweet spot of your business idea should be. And I always talk about the sweet spot being the combination of your skills, your deep interests, and the impact you want to make. You might want to check out my video that's going to be above in the link of how to find your sweet spot business idea. Get started with that video after this one, so it'll give you a lot more guidance in how to discover your sweet spot business idea so that you can focus on your strengths. Now I want to turn the lens over to you, and I want you to answer this question for yourself. When you look back on your own work experience and all the jobs that you've had, your entire resume, what might be some patterns that keep occurring for you in your jobs? Now, you may not go back to those same jobs ever again, but there are certain qualities in your work or how you worked, what you enjoyed, right? That may be something that you want to be mindful of, because those are little clues about what your strengths are and what are the areas of interest of the type of work that you most enjoy. So what parts of all these jobs were most enjoyable, most creative, most in flow when you do it, and the most interesting for you? I would love for you to share it in the comments. Now, for confidence booster number 2, to validate your services and ideas with some real humans. So often I see new business owners trying to guess what people want. And then, of course, that feels completely unconfident because you are throwing darts in the dark. You might know some insight about how to help your clients and know potentially what sort of services you might want to create. But I think it's important to really marry it with data, with information, with feedback and research with the very people that you're looking to support. Now, so many people skip this step, and I think is so detrimental in having a confident business that you are proud and feeling good to deliver, right? So market research is super important in uncovering the problems that people need help with, how they describe those problems, and then it helps you to support you in knowing what to really create for them in the process of really how you help them. Right, is one of the most important steps that I teach my students in the 90-Day Launch Academy. And it makes the biggest difference when it comes to feeling confident about what to offer, how to offer what they're offering, and how to solve these micro problems that are really essential for people to receive results. So through things like conversational interviews, surveys, and researching, right, even like-minded businesses, your competitors, as you might say. I call them my colleagues, because we can all solve a same problem, but we'll approach it very differently. And looking at what the current offers are out there that are similar to what you're potentially offering is good research as well, because it lets you see the gaps to be filled. Maybe someone's solving it in a way that's not the style that you're doing it, or you're like, oh, that's missing something based on what I think could be better, or reading some of the comments or reviews, right, of what really worked and what didn't work, right, potentially, and be able to fill those gaps and make your offering more of a unique proposition in the marketplace as well. And this is going to really, this research is so important to do before you launch any service, before you launch a business, because it really helps you to understand like what your clients are really going through. What are the micro problems in the way, right? For them to go from A, right, which is where they're at, to B, which is where they want to go. It's not just a one-step deal. It is micro steps and milestones that they have to be successful at in order to get to the holy grail of the biggest results, right? So when you're able to talk to people, really understand what's in their mindset, what their fears are, what are the obstacles in the way and the jobs to be done for them to be able to reach success, that's going to inform you on how to create your framework, which is that map of your services for how you start with your clients and where you end with them, and what micro problems you solve along the way to give it even more value when people buy a package service or buy an experience with you as a service-based business owner. So that framework is what's important. People buy a system. They don't just buy your hours. And that framework really is a system that you're creating to feel confident to sell that offer. So another great resource for you to check out after this video is a video I filmed. I'll put it in the links above, called The 3 Steps to Validate Your Business Idea Before Launching. That's going to support you in understanding why market research is really important and how to take the next steps in doing that. All right, let's get to confidence booster number 3 so that you feel great about the experience you're bringing to your business and you're proud to launch your services to the world. And that is to start with road testing your offer. Now, how many of us, when we start a business, kind of guess, right? As I talked about before, guess what we have to offer, but not only that, pretend to be super confident in the thing that we're doing for the first time. And for a lot of us, when we're transitioning our skills, doing certain things for the first time, even if we're repurposing a lot of our expertise from our corporate world or other employment experiences into the business, it's still a new approach. It's still a new way of working, right? That takes time to gain that experience. And back in the day when we were younger in, university, for example, when we were trying to decide what career we should go into or what specialty in that industry or niche we should go into, we had a thing called internships. And as adults, we've sort of lost the art of internships. And I think this is a huge missed opportunity for all of us to try on our services for size, to see if we enjoy the work that we do, and most importantly, to refine and improve that work so that when we launch that offer, we're confident that it's not our first rodeo. Okay. This is one of the most important things I also teach my 90-Day Launch Academy students, because doing this helps them to gain early testimonials, which gives you that credibility, that backing social proof that you require to attract more clients. You get feedback from real humans that are doing that process with you for the first time. And you can tell them that it is a beta test. It is your first offering, and perhaps it's on a discounted rate or an exchange of some sort, so that they can support you and help you in making that offer even better as a case study. And then you're going to be able to improve your work and make changes to how you offer your work in ways that are really going to resonate and make a lasting impression for your clients. And that is what is truly going to build confidence in your offer. And for you personally, the benefit is that you get to see the process of working with a real human, not guessing about what to say, what to give as templates or handy tools, right, as part of your process. And you understand the ideal way of working with your clients so that you can offer the right solutions at the right time before you actually launch that offer for the first time, right? It's going to give you much more confidence later on when you charge the full amount for your services, that it's not going to be your first rodeo. It's not your first test clients when you start charging that. That's really going to make you shake a little bit, right? In terms of feeling not confident. But if you create this process of road testing your offer, creating a self-made internship for a boundary of time, doesn't have to go on forever. I'll teach you a lot of that if you ever join me into the academy, how to set up a beta test project. But it's really just a test case study. And just having 3, 4, or 5 clients beta test that with you, be your first case studies, can make a huge world of difference in how you feel about your offer, especially when you sell it. So if you want to learn more about how to validate your business idea before you launch, you might want to check out this next video I'm going to put on the cards and the link above, called Validate Your Business Idea Before You Launch, so that you can see some of the steps and guidelines that I teach my students as well in how to offer a beta test project and the benefits of doing that for yourself. After hearing my tips on how to boost your confidence in your new business, I would love to hear from you. What's your biggest takeaway from today's video? Share it with me in the comments below. And of course, if this video was helpful to you, please like it, share it with others that you find that would benefit from this information. And it'll help also our videos to be found by more people on the interwebs. Interwebs, I just sounded like my grandmother when I said that. And of course, if you want to do even more with launching your business, understanding how to build the foundations of a purposeful and profitable business, you might want to join me for my next step, which is a free workshop that I hosted called the 4 keys to launch a business that you love. And I will put it into the link in the descriptions as well as in the cards above, so that you can join me on a more in-depth discussion on what are the key necessary foundational building blocks of your business to really pay attention to, so that you can feel really good, confident, and credible in how you're launching your dream business. I hope that you're able to join me there. Thank you again for spending time with me today, and I'll see you on our next video.